Hello fellow human, hope you guys have a great day and let's read some more entitled parent stories. To the first one. M wants to access to my apartment to do laundry. So the entitled mother in my building has struck again. I was home last night, minding my own business when I get a knock at my door. It was M holding a basket of laundry. M, I need to use your washer and dryer. Me, what? M, I need to do laundry and the ones in the basements are being used, plus they cost money. Me, you're not coming into my apartment. M, well, it's okay. The landlord said I could do laundry here from now on. Me, no, he didn't, and he can't do that. M, well, yes, he can. He owns the building. Me, well, that doesn't mean he has the authority to let random people in my apartment. M tries to push past me, but I stopped her. M, well, just let me use it. The one in the basement costs too much. I have 3 kids, and I can't spend money every week on that. Side note, the one in the basement costs like $150 to wash and $150 to dry. Me, well then do it at a family member or friend's house. You're not doing it here. M, well, why are you being so rude? I'm a single mother of 3 kids. Me, well, yeah, not my problem. M, well, you're just a selfish tramp. Let me in or I'm calling the landlord to tell him how awful you treated me. Me, well, okay, call him. M, I'm seriously going to call him. Me, well, me too, call him. M, I will. She huffs and walks away. Again, not really that interesting, but I got a bad feeling I have become this woman's new target. Remember for next time, no is enough. The second story. M demand I invite her kids to party that not even a party. So I'm back again a lot sooner than I hoped. M has struck again, so some backstory. My brother is a ER doctor and his husband is an ER nurse, so they both work long hours throughout the week. They have twins. We'll call them Anne and Ken. Well, not their real name, just the first one to pop in my head. Now, because of their workload, me and my sister help throughout the week and by taking the kids after school a few days a week. I have them on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Well, Fridays happens to be my niece and nephew's birthday. Now, due to COVID, we can't have the big party they're used to, but I still wanted to make it special. My niece and nephew had become friends with 2 kids in the building, Sarah and Blake. Again, fake names. Their mother will be called NN for nice neighbor. I had become somewhat friends with. Now, every time my niece and nephew are over, they play with Sarah and Blake. So I told the twins that Sarah and Blake could come over on a Friday for a little birthday sleepover. I worked it out with Sarah and Blake mom and got everything ready. Now, here's where the entitled mother comes in. As I was coming in the building, M run up to me. M, so you're having a party tonight. Me, what? No. M, well, Sarah and Blake told my kids they were going to your niece's party at your apartment. Me, well, it's not a party, it's my niece and nephew birthday, so I told them they can have Sarah and Blake over to watch movies. M, well, my kids are upset they weren't invited. Me, well, sorry, but like I said, it's not a party, just my niece and nephew having friends over. M, well, my kids would love a sleepover. Me, oh, well, maybe you should throw one. M, you could be nice and invite them. It is not nice to leave kids out. Me, I don't even know your kids. Sarah and Blake have been friends with my niece and nephew for going on like 3 years. M, well, they can always get to know each other at the party. Me, no, my niece doesn't like strange people. My niece is autistic and hates strangers. M, I'm your neighbors, so I'm not a stranger. Me, well, you tried to break into my apartment a few days ago. M, well, you're being overly dramatic. Me, well, and you're being crazy. M, well, that's rude. I rolled my eyes and walked away before she could say anything else. Oh wow, when I started reading this, I didn't realize this was that crazy neighbor from the previous story. The same Karen. The third story. EPs insist their kids to be at my child-free wedding. So this happened like 6 or 7 years ago. I was getting married, having a small child-free wedding. We sent out invites 6 months in advance so everyone had notice. My friend Lee and her husband, who I work with, had 2 kids. A 9-month-old and a 5-year-old I had babysat on several occasions. She was a brat. It was known throughout our extended circles of friends that child was just not likable. When it came to my hands and weekend, we opted to go camping. I flexed and let Lee bring her kids. Our weekend was as follow. Lee and Rachie want to go for a walk, so we better go for a walk. Rachie wants to hire a rowboat, so we'll do that today. Rachie wants to go to the pool for a swim. Actually, Rachie doesn't want that for tea. What else have you got? Everything about my hands was what the kid wanted to do. At one point before we walked to the rowboats, Miss 5-year-old proclaimed, "Well, I have something to say. We need to leave like right now." "Well, we are ready. Do you have shoes on?" I asked. Miss 5 burst into tears. Lee scolded me. "She was just saying that she was excited. Nice one." No she wasn't. She was giving orders at my hands. A few weeks later, we were talking about the wedding. "We'll set up the back in case the 9-month-old starts screaming. I can just pop a tit out and feed her," Leah said. "Well, it's child-free. It says on the invite you got like 6 months ago," I reminded her. Note, every other parent had made arrangements for a sitter, including a woman with a 2-month-old. "Well, if my kids cannot come, I'm not," Lee said. My maid of honor, a mutual friend, tried to soothe things over. "Well, can't your 2 sisters or Coco or your husband's sisters babysit the kids for a few hours?" "No, my kids need me. If they don't come, neither do I. I know you want me there." I couldn't believe she hadn't even tried to get a sitter, a family member either. I felt like blackmailed. So I made a call. "Well, then you don't come. You made a choice." A few years later, her friend got married, child-free, and she asked me to babysit. Well, to be honest, child-free weddings are better in some ways. You don't have to pay for the extra cost, not to mention the less chaos with servers. The 4th story. Kid pulls a knife out and threatens me, then goes crying to his mother when he cannot hurt me. To clarify, the entitled kid is a boy, and the main leader slash master slash whatever is a woman. So, this happened like 9 or 10 years ago when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I was a scout back then, and a part of a group which was, for the most part, filled with friends and people I knew. I was popular, because back then, I was social and easygoing. I was friends with everyone, and everyone was friends with me, and everyone else. But, as always, there's one exception to this. In all honesty, EK was a damn dumb butt. He would yell, he would fight, he would make others cry. He did what he wanted. Back then, I thought he was special ED, and that's why I tried to be friends with him. But nope, later in life, we went to the same high school, and I learned that he's just dumb. Like I said, that kid was a dumb butt, and would always be trying to get into fights with like everyone. People were sick of it in the time, and so was I. I don't remember clearly what the bastard did to deserve a shouting for me. He was probably harassing girls or hitting boys, but I ducking flipped on him. Now, at this time, he didn't take out his knife or begin to cry. Instead, he just stopped shouting and stopped whatever the hell he was doing. For the rest of the day, he would just sit at the back of our cabin and just stares at me menacingly. So let's skip a week ahead of time. It was the next scout session? I don't know what else to call it, and things were going well. We were doing something time-consuming, so everyone's attention was at the thing they were doing, whatever that was. EK, of course, wasn't doing anything, and instead, he decided it was better to run around the cabin. Scoutmaster/leader tried her best to stop the madness, but that only fueled EK's rampage. While in his rampage, it didn't take long for him to find a door to the log cabin that was next to the main cabin, and when he did, well, the crap hit the fan hard. I was sitting next to the cabin and I could hear everything he did and said there clearly. EK, "Oh my!" He started whispering from the log cabin. EK, "Hey, Joel!" Me, "Come here for a sec." At first I thought, what the hell is he doing now? But I soon became curious. He wouldn't stop whispering, and I kind of wanted to know what the bugger had found. So, like a stupid goddamn kid I was, I went there. Me, "Well, yeah, what is it?" EK, "I got something to show you." After a bit of searching, I found him at the back of the cabin. Now, at the time, I thought he was going to apologize for being a jerk to everyone, and I was quite ecstatic. I knew this would be a story I would milk the crap out of, something to brag to my friends. I was so intimidating that he apologized to me. Well, I got a story out of it, but not the one I was hoping. Me, what's you got there, buddy? His back was turned against me, and I didn't see what he was hiding or doing. After I asked him what he was doing, he just turned around. Ike, oh, you see this, Joel? I couldn't see what he had in his hand, but I saw his twisted grin. Me, well, I cannot see it. Could you bring it closer? Ike, sure. And now I saw it, a dull, red-handled knife. Ike, do you see it now, Joel? Now, at this point, I said something along the lines of, "Oh, crap," or "What the duck," and booked it out of there, with the ducker laughing maniacally behind me. I ran out of the log cabin into the main cabin and tripped. This diverted the leader's attention, who now noticed that Ike was gone, and that I was on the cabin floor panicking. Leader, L. What's wrong, Joel? Where's Ike? Me, well, it's Ike. That wanker's got a knife. Yep, I said wanker. That one I remember vividly. L, what? Me, he's trying to gut me. It took a moment for the leader to realize what was happening, but when she did, she ran into the log cabin, fuming. My friends came closer and asked me what had happened, but before I could answer them, I heard the leader scream at Ike. L, what makes you think it's okay to threaten someone with a knife? Ike, oh, I wasn't. I was just showing it. L, well, what makes you think you have any right to hold one without a supervisor? You could have not only hurt yourself, but you could have hurt Joel. Ike, oh, I swear, L, get out of here. Go outside and wait for your mom to come pick you up. She then came back into the main cabin and told one of the other leaders to look after us. She then went outside with Ike and waited for the mother to come pick the little devil up. Now, according to what I had heard, the leader told the others after this incident, and the mother was ducking furious. A complete and utter entitled mother who tried to tell the leader that I was probably the aggressor and that I was a goddamn son of a tramp. At the time, I laughed at this with my friends, but had I known she would come for me next week, I wouldn't have been laughing. Now, a week after the incident, me and my friend were on the top of the bridge you can see in front of the building. We were screwing around doing some dumb stuff, playing tag, stuff like that, when suddenly, M shows up. The conversation goes something like this. M, which one of you is Joel? Me, well, here, ma'am. M, you're the one who bullied my darling. Me, what? I then noticed Ike on the back seat, bawling his eye out. Me, oh, yeah, you are Ike's mom. Yeah, he tried to slice me with a knife. M, he would never. She then went on to list some positive things about him, which seemed pretty BS to me and my friends. He is a gentleman, yet he harassed little girls. He's great at school. Well, yet he couldn't be bothered to pay attention to a single second. And he was a F and D student in high school, so he's got more friends than any of you. And yet he had somehow become an outcast in our scout group. I honestly got bored at her rambling and went back to playing with my friends. Some of them kept shouting at her, others ignored her. One of my friends, a girl I had known since kindergarten, started straight up roasting this 30-year-old woman. I cannot remember what she shouted, but I remember M's reaction. M, shut up, you little tramp. This ain't none of your business. Now, this didn't stop my friend. In fact, it fueled her rage even more. Knowing what kind of woman her mother was, this didn't surprise me one bit. As time went on, one of the leaders noticed the commotion and came to check what is going on. M noticed this and got out of there, like fast. After the leader asked us what had happened and we told him, we went and told the main leader and she was furious. She went and straight up banned EK, a ban which was lifted in 2016 when EK wanted back into the scout. My career as a scout had already came to an end in 2011, so it didn't bother me until I started again in the autumn of 2016 and had to cope with the dumb butt again. But that is a story for another time, folks, if you want more, of course. Well, I'd think threatening someone with a knife is enough for a ban, but apparently not. The fifth story. Entitled kid killed my pet and somehow I'm the bad guy. Relevant people, I'm sorry, but acronyms just confuse me. Karen, entitled mom. Calvin, entitled son, 11. Me, 18. Bronte, my pet spider, 6. My dad loves spiders, so I grew up with lots of them and know how to take care of them. When I moved out a couple of months ago, he gave me a Goliath bird eater he'd had a couple of years, Bronte. Goliath bird eaters are one of the largest spiders in the world, largest by mass and second largest by leg span, and they're not beginners' pets. They are expensive and can be hard to care for. I really love Bronte, and I know most people say spiders aren't capable of love, but she recognized me, and I like to think that she loved me back in her own way. I took excellent care of her, and I talked to her. So, a few days ago, my roommate's aunt, Karen, came over with her son, Calvin. Karen seemed perfectly nice at first, asking me what I'm studying, what I want to do, chatting with my roommate about family gossip. Calvin, on the other hand, threw himself on the couch and kept whining that he was bored and he wanted to go home. Karen excused his behavior, saying that he was just tired after school. I told him he could watch Netflix if he wanted, and he agreed. He stayed in the living room while the rest of us went to the kitchen. About a half an hour later, I went to the bathroom and I noticed he wasn't in the living room. The only other place he could be was one of our bedrooms, so I checked my roommates first. He wasn't there, but some things were messed up, and we were both very neat, so I knew he must have gone through her stuff. I went into my room and found him looking through my bedside table, but more importantly, Bronte was crushed on the floor. I immediately started screaming at him, slightly incoherently, went over and grabbed him by the shoulders, demanding to know what happened to my spider. He started yelling for his mom and trying to get away from me. Quick interruption. I know I shouldn't have grabbed him, but I was completely panicked and not thinking straight. Karen and my roommate ran in and she yelled at me to let go of her child. Roommate noticed Bronte and gently pulled me away, and we all went to the living room, me still sobbing. Once I was able to talk again, I demanded to know what he did to Bronte. And Calvin very boldly said, "Oh, it was creepy as hell, and it got mad when I picked it up, so I killed it. It's just a bug." I started screaming at him again, calling him a monster and a horrible brat. And Karen starts yelling over me not to talk to him like that. And it was just all chaos until my roommate yelled, "Shut up," louder than both of us. She told us to calm down, and Karen says, quieter, that I'm bullying her son and overreacting. And I said, still yelling, that Bronte was my pet and I adored her, and that he killed her for no reason. She was in her terrarium, not bothering him until he took her out without knowing how to handle her, and terrified her. I also started rambling about how she could have lived up to 25 years, but my roommate cut me off at that point. Karen kept insisting that she was just a spider and that Calvin did nothing wrong. At that point, I told them to get out or I'd start throwing things. They left, and apparently, Karen's been texting my roommate to say that she should move out of the crazy house. We gave Bronte a little funeral in the woods. I'm still really broken up about this. Ugh, this is so sad and made me mad to read. I'm so sorry you lost your pet in such a senseless way. This kid is the worst, and so is his mom. Hang in there. That's it for today, fellow human. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.